Hello and welcome to a very festive edition of Trendz Travel. Now I'd like to start off the show by wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now if you're one of those few families who haven't made it down to the coast for this December, well, Silver Star's got you covered with their annual beach festival. That's exactly where I am today. Now speaking of festivals, Puleng had one amazing one that she attended, the Nubian Festival that happened in Hartbeespoort. Let's go have a look.
The third annual Nubian Music Festival took a whole new approach this year, making the event a family affair. This year, families came in numbers to relax and indulge in music. A whole day affair had a variety of things to do. Third year running, how do you feel about the successes and achievements that you have been able to build up to with the third annual Nubian Music Festival?
I'm very excited about what is happening. It's growing bigger and better every year. Like today, around 5, we had already surpassed 5,000 people. And when the soil was singing, "We are family," I mean, from up there, I was so elated to see everyone hugging, singing along and all that. And this is exactly what I want, for us to live together, love, share love, and everything here.
The fun wasn't only experienced by those who attended the event, but also the artists who kept them on their feet. The Nubian Music Festival, you just had your set. How was it? What's it like for you being here, Mohartis, performing for your fans?
It was amazing. Man, I'm still trying to gather my life, but it was insane. The audience, as always, like the fire they brought. It's always easy for me as a performer when they're receiving end also give me that energy so that, we just bring it back and forth, back and forth. I was so honored to be at the Nubian Fest because I'm a Nubian queen. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So it was really, really, I think for me as a woman, as a black woman, it was amazing to be on that stage today. Yeah.
Music was the order of the day, and if you were not on the grounds with the crowd, you could still turn up backstage. SABC, on Trendz Travel. Oh, look at you. Guys, your voices though, like you've been in the game for so long, but your voices, how do you remain like so good, so crisp? You harmonize so well. That's the tones, like you don't even have to say the soul. You can hear. What's the secret?
This guy has herbal tea.
Herbal tea.
Yeah. Okay, now what herbal tea, and I think it's also owed to the individuals themselves, what we do in our own capacity. When we are tired, we rest. As you can see, we drink a lot of water. And I think when you respect what you love and continuously pray for it, you harness it and it stays with you forever.
Judith, I was watching you from the monitor on the other side. Your music though, and I said to someone, I said, your songs, one could listen to them over and over and over. 5 years later, 10 years, we're still saying, my goodness. How does it feel though to make such classics?
Let me tell you, it feels amazingly, amazingly awesome. And every time when I sing, especially, the older songs, and people still remember them and they still sing along, I'm like, oh my God, what did we do right, And I guess it's the heart. They came from the right place. And we didn't want to prove anything at the time. We wanted to just give out the best of us and to share it with the world, And that's exactly why they're still the most sing-along songs today.
Is it your first time at the Nubian Music Festival? If so, how is it so far?
It is my first time at the Nubian Music Festival, and I am so happy that I came. It's been amazing. Let me tell you, the audience. I just told you earlier on, off TV, off air, that we've been having such amazing shows, and this for me just sealed it. It was so. They sang from the first song, even Maropeng, the one that I just introduced to them today. They sang that song. I'm so happy, so beautiful.
celebrate the story of Peter Pan, the boy who wouldn't grow up. And that story has been told over and over again. But this time round, Monte Casino is selling it a very different way. This time, Peter Pan on ice. This is the tale of the boy who wouldn't grow up. The boy who spent his time on wondrous adventures on the mythical island of Neverland as the leader to the Lost Boys. This is Peter Pan, told as never before.
I think everybody in the world knows the story of Peter Pan. We've stayed very, very faithful to J.M. Barrie's writing. What we have done is we've created our own musical score for it, which suits what we do as in ice skating. There's some recorded song in there, narration. I just think people will get an exciting evening. It will, they'll be amazed by what they're going to see. I'm slightly biased. I made the show, so I know what's coming. People don't know how to describe us, so we get called a lot of the time, a ballet on ice. And I promise you, this is not ballet. This is just great, great ice skating. The boys and girls in the Imperial Ice Stars have got north of 200 figure skating medals between them. So no, we don't have a balletic bone in our body. What we do have is a great talent for ice skating, and also bringing a story to life. And that's what we've done with this. It was all about, accepting the challenge that the story of Peter Pan could be told on ice at great speed, with some exciting elements inside of it. For the very first time ever, animated projection screens. There's flying as well. Of course, you'd expect Peter Pan to fly. If you're anywhere between 6 and 106, you'll enjoy the evening that we're going to present to you, which is not just about great ice skating. It's about bringing the characters of the book to life and making people smile. I'll sell you a ticket. The thing is, I shouldn't, I'm going to charge you full price for that ticket, but you're only going to use the edge of that seat because it's going to have you that excited.
After a sneak peek performance, the dancers pose for a picture while we get ready to go on the ice. The skating isn't as easy and effortless as the talented cast made it look. In fact, my second time round the stage, I even had Peter Pan come to my rescue and assist me on the ice. I did say it earlier on, but I do think that it bears repeating. Me and my Trendz family would like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now, we'd like to know what you got up to on Christmas Day, so why not let us know on Twitter or on Instagram. That's on Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News. Now you know we love traveling, and of course we are still traveling, and this time Nadia goes back to Lesotho for a little bit of music and some more culture. Let's have a look.
The Free State Province is a tourist paradise. People from all over the world come to this mountainous region to relax, hike, and of course, some adventure. Trendz Travel had the pleasure of exploring the province. We were invited to the 3rd annual Golden Gate Classics event held at Highlands National Park. And Clarence, a small town situated in the foothills of the Maluti Mountains, was our home for the weekend. Loved by backpackers, this town also boasts beautiful lodges. A very relaxed environment where music lovers can enjoy some wine and listen to the soothing sounds.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful scenario, the mountains, even if the weather is cold, but you know, with wine, with music and this kind of music, it's so amazing.
Take my soul, let me fall, the same thing.
The following morning, we visited the Basotho Cultural Village inside the park.
This place is called Khotla by Basotho. Khotla is a courtyard where the chief of Basotho and his men go inside for meetings and work. And then the only people who are allowed to enter Khotla were the men and the boys of that village. The women and the girls of Basotho were not allowed inside Khotla. But now it's a museum here, so we allow everybody to enter and see how Basotho courtyard is like. And then up there, we have a watchman. Basotho villages traditionally had a watchman in the highest place of the village. So when he's playing traditional Basotho violin called Sekhang Pula, that's when he's telling people that visitors are coming in. So once the people hear the sound, they know that people are coming. And also during the war times, when enemy was approaching, they used to have a different tune that was played to notify that enemy is on the way. So the men of that village used to know the sound of a warning. Okay, we're gonna demonstrate and show you how things were done. You don't enter a Sotho courtyard without permission of the men. So you have to get permission first before you can enter it. You're gonna be attacked. Okay, you are welcome.
The chief welcomes the guests with a traditional drink so they can feel at home. The Basotho lived in this area for centuries and have a close affinity to the tribes just across the border in Lesotho, which is not too far away. The Golden Gate National Park in the Free State has its own Basotho cultural village where you can learn about the history of the Basotho and how they lived. We are here today to explore. The village is made of colorfully decorated Basotho huts. I never miss an opportunity to get involved. I found a gogo in a hut making dipapi and asked her to teach me. Looks are deceiving. This rock is small but oh so heavy. A few moments later, I got the hang of it and I was like a pro. Dipapi is a powder made of nuts, sugar and salt. The warriors used to eat it out in the fields or while traveling to a different region. It's lightweight and can sustain one for hours on end. Also, it suppresses appetite. There were no plastic containers like we use these days, but pumpkins were carved meticulously for whatever use. Gogo thought I'd make a perfect bride to her son, seeing that I could grind the nuts, so she decided to robe me with a blanket.
Bese siyaphi masamba kanje?
Makoti phela uphethe mamezala ingoma yakhe yokubheka sniff.
I'm still to find that out, but I think what you're asking is when did I know that I wanted to do this and that I could do it well? From a young age, really. From about age 12, 13, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I was playing the cello at the time, which I still do. But the conducting actually only in the last 13 years. I started in 2006. The encouragement of my late friend John Machikiza. We're going to do a concert of his father's music, and he always said that he wanted me to conduct his father's music. So I always laughed at him until the funds were raised. We got an orchestra together, and he said, "Well, there you go." And I was dragged to the conductor's podium, kicking and screaming, haven't looked back since. Please put your hands together for Swanile Kumar.
Now, Rustenburg is synonymous with scorching temperatures, and they're trying to cool things down a bit with their brand new theme park named 10 Flags. One of the things that they have is the largest ice rink in South Africa. Puleng had to have a look at it.
Hi, Trendz Travelers. You can see I'm in the air. This is the most thrilling experience ever. So we are literally cycling 10 flags here in Rustenburg. This place has all kinds of fun. There's go-karting, quad biking, there's ice skating, and there's this helicopter ride, the one that I'm in right now. It's fun down there, but up here, it's like super exciting.
Touchdown, and it was straight to experiencing fun on the ground. The perfect way to start was with go-karting.
I've been traveling all over the world, and what then happened was that one gentleman once said to me, "What is Rustenburg known for?" That is Tibo Touch. You probably know him. So it was a challenge for me to say, look, Rustenburg is not known for a lot of things except Sun City. But then we look at, on weekends, what happened was that families, they always spend time by themselves at the bars and clubs. But what about the wives and the kids? So we thought, let's get something that can be able to bring family together.
The most fun, or what seemed to be, ice skating. From the looks of things, it looked easy until I joined and I could not move a muscle.
You see, whenever you go up straight.
When you come here, look, the ice rink. I mean, I met a lot of families in Joburg and Pretoria coming for ice rink. Now, we've got an ice rink which is different, which is the biggest in South Africa, which means we're also doing go-kart on ice, which is not there in South Africa. Also, we're going to be having hockey teams already starting in December, and also the figure skate. That gives a lot of kids the chance to be able to participate in it.
Here, you can do everything from fun-filled activities to chilling with loved ones and listening to the local band.
We will be back with more of Trendz Travel right after this very short break. What is synonymous with December is that every single year during this time, every corporate goes on their year-end function. And Trendz Travel is no different. This year we decided to have a year-end function right here at Gold City, going on all the rides, so why don't you come on and join us? We start our day off at Shaft 14 for an underground mine tour. The team is all together, kitted with hard hats for safety and special flashlights to guide us in the dark. The mine tour is not typically part of your entrance fee, but for us, for today, it is. Once in the made for mine lift, we start a slow descent into the earth below.
Okay, down we go. Down, 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 down.
Then out of the darkness we arrive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now 75 meters underground at level number 2. Watch your steps as you exit here. And then right now we are standing in front of the mine snuff.
After a brief safety tutorial, we are on our way.
Are you all feeling comfortable?
Yes.
We trudge slowly down our first darkish, cold tunnel in anticipation of our first stop.
So 14 Shaft Crown Mine is the name of the mine. Where there's an arrow, that's where we are. The whole mine is 3.2 kilometers deep. That's 3,293 meters.
As we go further, it gets colder and deeper and a little eerie.
And then that's where the miners will be mining. Sorry, that's where the working area. So as I was saying, when they mine, they follow the reef. Where the reef ends, that's when they'll stop mining. So that tunnel has been blasted to give idea how does a proper rock fall looks like. So if the mine is not being supported properly or not being supported at all, it will come like that. Very, very hostile environment. So miners could be trapped, they could lose their lives, they could lose their lives.
The tour itself is about 30 to 45 minutes, and not for those who suffer from claustrophobia, as the deeper we go, the less we see light, and oddly, the wetter it gets.
Then underground water. Because this is a mine, the rock has chemicals, water is contaminated.
The water seems to be trickling down from above, but we are told that it is actually coming from the lower levels.
And then when they mine,
Suddenly, we are met with the mine mannequin, who demonstrates the power and sound of the drill that was commonly used.
it's gonna be allowed. This is how the drill sounds.
This blasting sound was experienced by the miners for up to 8 hours a day in these cramped and echoing quarters, often deafening them.
This is underground hole 226 feet underground, and then this will be the maximum level. But the mine still goes further down. We cannot descend any further down because that's where the water level is. So
Is this mine as deep as that?
it still goes further down.
And boy, does it go down and down and down and down. Starting to feel a bit hemmed in, it was definitely time to make our way to the surface. After the mine tour, we decide to start off slow at the big wheel. Nestled into our hot air balloon looking seats, doors locked, we ascend without any hurry. As we get ready to take in the sunlight and the scenery, and of course, plenty of selfies. This ride is deceivingly non-scary looking. But if you're not a fan of heights, then being suspended in mid-air could cause a palpitation or two. I was relieved to go to the second ride. This is one of Gold Reef City's newer rides, and we are anxious to get going on it. Seeing the ride is one thing, but being on it is a whole different ballgame. This is the high-flying Maverick. The buzzer sounds, we are buckled in safely, and then we are off, way too enthusiastic. From the get-go, the sounds already have your heart dropping. But then we are flung into the air and back again in a propeller-like motion. And all you hear are the excited screams of all the riders. The Miner's Revenge is an old fan favorite. The thrill of being suspended practically upside down, then almost kicked right side up is exhilarating. Add a little water to that and you have yourself a winner. Some of my colleagues, however, were ready to bail as soon as the ride stopped. This one is not for the faint-hearted, nor should it be your first ride at Gold Reef City. Then came the Storm Chaser.
We're going on the ride.
It looks like nothing at first, but looks can be very deceiving. Before you know it, you are holding on for dear life. At many points, I literally thought I was going to fall out of the sky. Not even I was brave enough to not scream.
This new ride is the best one to be on yet.
No trip to Gold Reef City is complete without a ride on the Golden Loop. Going from north to 85 kilometers an hour in 3 seconds and back again. This one was definitely a firm favorite for our crew.
That's one of the signature rides, the Anaconda. We're about to do it. You better hold on tight because I'm holding on tight.
the team waved their goodbyes and put some steel resolve in their blood. Then we were off, and just as soon, back again. Pumped to the max with exhilaration and adrenaline. Truly a magical day out. And that's all we have here in this week's edition of Trendz Travel. We'd like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and an exciting New Year. And we'd like to know what you'll be up to in the New Year, so let us know. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place.